Welcome back to my channel. This is Taekook fanfiction story. When the powerful alpha found out about his secret part 3. Are you ready to start? Let's begin. After what happened with that incident with Sang-hoon. Time skip. The hallway was quiet when Taehyung stepped out of the classroom, his books pressed tightly to his chest. But the silence didn't feel safe. It felt like a shadow waiting to swallow him. And then it came. A heavy hand slammed against the wall beside his head, trapping him. Skipping out so early? Sung-hoon's voice carried that arrogant alpha edge, thick with dominance. His presence alone felt suffocating, the weight of his pheromones pressing down like invisible chains. Taehyung's chest tightened. He wanted to shrink, to hide, but something inside him flared instead. No, not this time. Move, he snapped, shoving at Sung-hoon's chest. When the alpha only smirked, Taehyung didn't hesitate. He swung his book hard, smacking Sung-hoon across the jaw. The sound echoed. For a second, Sung-hoon's expression faltered. Then it darkened. You dare? His pheromones spilled out heavier. Like a tidal wave. Taehyung staggered under the weight, but when Sung-hoon reached for him, Taehyung fought again. Kicking, clawing, even landing another punch to the alpha's ribs. But the more he fought, the stronger the pressure became. The air grew thick with alpha scent, burning in his lungs, seeping into his skin. And then, it hit. A sharp, searing ache bloomed low in his stomach. His knees buckled. The heat was unlike anything he had ever felt, blistering, consuming, unbearable. His body trembled violently, betraying him at the worst possible moment. No! Taehyung gasped, clutching at his throat as waves of heat rolled over him. His vision blurred. Why now? Sung-hoon's grin widened as realization dawned. Your first heat. His voice dripped with sick delight. He grabbed Taehyung's arm, forcing him against the wall, fingers brushing the patch at his neck. Then you're mine to claim. Taehyung whimpered, fear flashing in his eyes, but he still resisted, shoving weakly at Sung-hoon's chest, even landing another hit. His body screamed with pain and confusion, but his spirit refused to break. And then, the air shifted. A new scent sliced through the suffocating haze. Dark, potent, furious. Jungkook. The growl that split the silence was low and primal, shaking the walls. Get your hands off him. Before Sung-hoon could react, Jungkook was there. His hand tore Sung-hoon away from Taehyung with brutal force, slamming him into the opposite wall. The pure dominance radiating from Jungkook's pheromones made the entire bathroom tremble. Taehyung collapsed against the tiles, panting through the waves of pain, tears pricking at his lashes. His body was burning, his heart racing. But the moment his blurred gaze found Jungkook, something inside him loosened. Relief. Safety. Sung-hoon spat blood, sneering. He's in heat. He needs an alpha. Why not let me? The words never finished. Jungkook's fist connected with his jaw, a sickening crack ringing out. You will never touch him again. Jungkook didn't spare him another glance. He turned, eyes softening as they landed on Taehyung. Shaking, clutching his chest, fighting the pain of his first heat. Taehyung? Jungkook's voice broke, rough with fury yet laced with something gentler. He knelt, scooping the trembling Omega into his arms as if he were made of glass. Taehyung clung to him instinctively, burying his face in Jungkook's shoulder. It hurts, he whispered, voice cracking. His whole body shook, torn between unbearable pain and the faint, intoxicating pull toward the alpha holding him. I know, baby. I know, Jungkook murmured, his jaw tight, his chest heaving with restrained rage. He pressed Taehyung closer, bridal style, shielding him from the world. I've got you. I'll never let anyone hurt you again. The scent of Jungkook's pheromones surrounded him, warm, protective, fierce. It drowned out Sunghoon's taint, wrapping Taehyung in something that felt like home. And as Jungkook carried him out of the building, Taehyung's tears slipped freely, his voice breaking through the haze of pain and heat. Don't leave me." Jungkook's arms tightened. His gaze burned with a vow only meant for him. Never. Taehyung's body was burning against him, his scent, finally free, no longer masked, flooding the air. And that was when it hit Jungkook like a thunderbolt. That scent. Not just any omega. Not just any sweet fragrance. The realization slammed into his chest, making his alpha instincts roar to the surface. His wolf howled inside him, clawing to claim, to mark, to bind. It took everything in him to control the primal urge. His jaw tightened, sweat dripping down his temple as he forced himself to breathe evenly. Not now. Not like this. Taehyung was suffering, frightened, vulnerable. Jungkook refused to let their bond begin in fear. He carried Taehyung out of the university and stormed across campus. Students parted instinctively at the sight of him, an alpha with murder in his eyes, holding someone precious in his arms. By the time Jungkook reached his apartment, Taehyung was whimpering softly, his fingers clutching Jungkook's shirt desperately, seeking comfort. Jungkook laid him gently on his bed, covering him with blankets, brushing damp strands of hair from his forehead. "Is Omega his mate?" "Taehyung?" Jungkook whispered, his voice cracking for the first time in years. Taehyung's lashes fluttered, his eyes hazy with heat, tears welling. "Jungkook, it hurts." Jungkook swallowed hard, his instincts screaming at him to claim, to ease the pain, to mark him as his own. But he clenched his fists, grounding himself. "Don't worry, love," he murmured, pressing his forehead to Taehyung's. "I'll take care of you. I'll protect you. No one will touch you again." And as Taehyung's eyes closed, surrendering to exhaustion, Jungkook made a silent vow. Not as a protector. Not as the strongest alpha in the university. But as the fated mate destiny had given him. He would mark Taehyung, not out of instinct but out of love. Taehyung clutched at the sheets, his body trembling with the unbearable ache. His voice was raw, desperate. "Jungkook, it hurts, please?" His eyes, glossy with tears, locked onto Jungkook's. "Mark me. I can't take this." The alpha inside Jungkook roared to life. His chest heaved as he tried to steady his breathing, to keep control. "Tae, do you know what you're asking?" he whispered, brushing his knuckles across Taehyung's flushed cheek. "Once I mark you, there's no going back. You'll be mine. Forever." "I already am yours," Taehyung whispered, voice breaking. His hand reached for Jungkook's wrist, clinging weakly. "Please, Jungkook. I need you." "I can't," he whimpered, biting his lip as another wave of heat crashed through him. "I need you to save me." Jungkook's resolve shattered. He leaned down, capturing Taehyung's lips in a kiss that was at first slow, careful, almost reverent, but quickly deepened as the mate bond surged between them, sparking like wildfire. Taehyung melted against him, gasping into his mouth, fingers clutching at Jungkook's shirt like a lifeline. "Tell me if it's too much," Jungkook murmured against his lips, his voice thick with restraint. "I'll be gentle first. I'll take care of you." His hands trailed down Taehyung's sides, trembling slightly as he fought to stay soft. When every instinct screamed to claim, to dominate, to make the world know Taehyung belonged only to him. Taehyung nodded quickly, tears sliding down his flushed face. "Please, please, Jungkook." And so he did. Slowly. Tenderly. Jungkook kissed every tear from his cheeks, whispered soft promises into his ear, touched him like he was fragile glass. He prepared him with patience, murmuring, "You're perfect, you're mine, breathe love, I've got you." But when Taehyung's body arched into his touch, when his pleading voice grew raw, when the heat became unbearable, Jungkook's control slipped. The room was thick with tension, the air heavy with the scent of desire and dominance. Jungkook's eyes burned with an intensity that made Taehyung's breath hitch, his body instinctively responding to the alpha's presence. The bond mark on Taehyung's neck pulsed faintly, a soft golden glow that seemed to grow brighter as Jungkook stepped closer. "You've always been mine, Taehyung," Jungkook growled, his voice low and husky, dripping with possession. His hands gripped Taehyung's waist, pulling him flush against his muscular frame. The heat between them was undeniable, a magnetic pull neither of them could resist. Taehyung shuddered, his body trembling under Jungkook's touch. He could feel the strength in those hands, the power that radiated from the alpha as he pressed deeper, his lips brushing against Taehyung's ear. "Say it," Jungkook demanded, his breath hot against his skin. "Tell me you're mine." "I'm yours," Taehyung whispered, his voice barely audible but laced with need. His heart raced, the bond mark glowing brighter as if responding to his words. His body felt electric, every nerve ending alive with anticipation as Jungkook's lips trailed down his neck, leaving a trail of fire in their wake. Jungkook's hand slid up Taehyung's sides, pulling his shirt over his head and tossing it aside. His gaze raked over Taehyung's bare chest, a hungry look in his eyes as he leaned in to capture his lips in a fierce kiss. It was possessive, demanding, and Taehyung melted into it, his hands gripping Jungkook's shoulders for support. The kiss deepened, tongues tangling as Jungkook backed Taehyung against the wall, pinning him in place. His hands roamed greedily, exploring every inch of Taehyung's body. As if he couldn't get enough. Taehyung moaned into the kiss, his hips bucking forward as he felt Jungkook's hardness pressing against him. "God, you're so fucking perfect," Jungkook muttered against his lips, his hands moving to unbutton Taehyung's pants. He pushed them down roughly, letting them pool at his feet before wrapping his hand around Taehyung's length, stroking him with just the right amount of pressure to make him gasp. "Jungkook," Taehyung whimpered, his back arching as pleasure shot through him. His fingers dug into Jungkook's shoulders, clinging to him as if he were the only thing keeping him grounded. The alpha smirked, clearly enjoying the effect he had on him. "I want to hear you," Jungkook murmured, his hand moving faster. "I want to hear how much you need me." Taehyung's breath hitched, a broken moan escaping his lips as he felt himself teetering on the edge. "Please," he begged, his voice trembling. "I need you, Jungkook. Please." Jungkook didn't need to be told twice. He released Taehyung's length, lifting him effortlessly and pinning him against the wall. Taehyung wrapped his legs around Jungkook's waist, his body trembling with anticipation as Jungkook lined himself up. With a single thrust, Jungkook buried himself deep inside Taehyung, both of them gasping at the sensation. The bond mark on Taehyung's neck glowed brighter than ever, a golden light that seemed to fill the room. Jungkook didn't waste any time, setting a brutal pace that had Taehyung crying out with every thrust. "Mine," Jungkook growled, his hands gripping Taehyung's hips tightly as he pounded into him. "Always mine." Taehyung could only nod, his mind consumed by the overwhelming pleasure coursing through him. His nails dug into Jungkook's back, leaving crescent-shaped marks as he clung to him for dear life. Every thrust sent sparks of pleasure shooting through his body, each one more intense than the last. Jungkook leaned in, capturing Taehyung's lips in another searing kiss as he drove into him harder, faster. The heat between them was almost unbearable, their bodies moving together in perfect sync as they chased their release. "Come for me, Taehyung," Jungkook commanded, his voice rough with desire. I want to feel you. Taehyung obeyed without hesitation, his body convulsing as he came hard, his release spilling between them. Jungkook followed soon after, burying himself deep inside Taehyung. As he found his own release, their cries of pleasure mingling in the air. For a moment they stayed like that, their bodies pressed together as they caught their breath. But then Jungkook smirked, his eyes dark with promise as he pulled out slowly. Again, he said. Jungkook's hands were already moving before Taehyung could fully catch his breath, his grip firm and unyielding as he guided Taehyung's body. With a sharp motion, he spun him around, forcing his lithe frame to bend over the edge of the bed. Taehyung's chest pressed against the cool sheets, his back arching instinctively as Jungkook positioned himself behind him. The alpha's dominance was palpable, radiating through every touch, every movement that left no room for argument. You've always been mine, Taehyung, Jungkook growled, his voice low and dripping with possessiveness. His hands slid down Taehyung's sides, gripping his waist tightly as he leaned over him, his breath hot against the Omega's ear. The bond mark on Taehyung's neck pulsed faintly, its soft glow a constant reminder of the connection neither of them could escape. Taehyung shivered under Jungkook's touch, his body already responding to the alpha's commanding presence. He could feel the heat building between them, the air thick with desire. Jungkook's fingers trailed lower, teasing the sensitive skin of Taehyung's inner thighs before spreading him open. So perfect for me, Jungkook murmured, his voice rough with need. His hands moved to Taehyung's hips, fingers digging into the soft flesh as he aligned himself. There was no hesitation, no gentleness, just the raw, unrelenting force of his desire. He pushed in slowly, deliberately, feeling Taehyung's body stretch to accommodate him. Finally, Jungkook buried his face in Taehyung's neck, his fangs brushing over the delicate skin where his scent gland throbbed. He paused just for a moment, giving Taehyung one last chance. Forever, Taehyung. Are you sure? He whispered. Forever, Taehyung sobbed, arching into him. Please, mark me, Jungkook. With a growl torn from the depths of his soul, Jungkook sank his teeth into Taehyung's neck, marking him. The world seemed to explode in white heat. Taehyung gasped, shuddering as the bond locked into place, filling every aching emptiness with Jungkook's presence. Jungkook held him through it, kissing the mark softly after. Whispering against his skin, "You're mine now. My mate. My forever." Taehyung, trembling and spent, whispered back with the faintest smile, "Yours. Always." And for the first time, Jungkook let the alpha in him rest, because Taehyung was finally safe, where he belonged. To be continued? Final part coming soon. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed.